Okay, just a quick one here for your boxing fans. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. Welcome to BWTM Sports Gaming. Gonna jump straight into this one. Daniel Dubois and Dillian Whyte are finalising, they're looking over the documentation, and it seems that this fight is a go. If you remember me rightly, going back after Dubois won the world title, sat right here in front of you and said to you, you know what? I think Dubois, if I'm Daniel Dubois, the next fight I take is Dillian Whyte. Before we knew it, bang bang, he's calling out Dillian Whyte. I said Ryan Garcia should take on Maxi Hughes, European champion, good fight, bang bang. Ryan Garcia now is talking about Maxi Hughes. Now I'm not trying to say I'm a know-all, but be anything, I should be a bit of a matchmaker in boxing. Absolutely, I should be a matchmaker in boxing. But I'll tell you why they will take this fight. They will say to themselves, well, you know what? Dillian Whyte's been in a lot of hard fights. He's been in a lot of wars. The Chisora fights, the Joshua fight when he was injured, and he's never made fights easy fight. Even the Parker fight, the Hellenius fight, the Rivas fight, all those fights back to back on those pay-per-view fights. All of those fights, I said, would have a toll, take a effect on Dillian Whyte. The way he got knocked out by Povetkin and came back and beat Povetkin. The way he got knocked out by Tyson Fury, or very alarming the way he gets hit by the uppercut. Now, Dubois is not one to throw the uppercut, and Dubois is not Tyson Fury, and nor is he Alexander Povetkin. He's not that kind of a puncher. He's a thudding puncher, but he's not a guy who's going to be whipping an uppercut on you. That's not Dubois' punch. It's not his uppercut. Of course, that is now what Shane McGuigan will be teaching him: throw the uppercut on Dillian Whyte. But for me, the impression I get of Daniel Dubois so far, the way I've seen him fight, I feel, and just a gut instinct, but I get a feeling Dubois is an on-top fighter. He's one of these guys that if he's on top of you, he's enjoying it. But when you start throwing punches back at him and backing him up, he doesn't like it. And if Dillian Whyte can get in the face of Dubois and can crack him with a left hook, because Dubois, to me, has no defense. He's very basic and come forward and a very basic fighter. There's nothing great about Dubois. He's a stunning punch. Yes, he's heavy-handed and he's ambitious and he's youthful. But I wouldn't say he's got the biggest boxing IQ in the world. No disrespect to Daniel Dubois. He's not got the biggest boxing IQ in the world. And he does things very basic. Plod forward, very basic. Left jab, right hand. But nothing. He's not one who varies up his punches a lot. He's not one that he's very. I don't want to use the word one-dimensional and knock him, but he's very straightforward. Come forward, still bouncing like an amateur, and I sort of feel that at this stage, Dillian Whyte, if you can get close to Dubois and explode that left hook, see for Dillian Whyte to land that left hook, he could get against guys who are slower paced and flat-footed. You look at guys like, for example, he's actually catch left hook with. Lucas Brown, Derek Chisora, those guys, a bit more flat-footed and more ponderous in their sets. Even Josie Parker, who's faster than Dubois, they hit that left hook. But that was Dillian Whyte. Probably the Josie Parker fight around that time was at Dillian Whyte's prime. I think he's in his prime now. He's in decline. And the reason why they would take this fight is one thing: durability. The reason why they take this fight was got knocked out by Tyson Fury. Got knocked out by Povetkin recently. Frank Warren would say, you know what? This guy is there for the taking. And he's still a decent name heavyweight. So let's take him on. I hope Dillian Whyte's head is cleared. I hope he's got his head over the whole WBC situation. And he's got his head back in the game. And if he can double up that jab. Now, if you go back and look at the Trevor Bryan fight, where's Dubois won the fight quite convincingly. Go back and look at that tape again in the first round. The one punch that Bryant does throw is a jab. Good jab. And we know Bryant's got a good jab. He gets a jab. And Dubois flinches up when he gets hit with a jab. So if there's any remnants, if there's any flashbacks of that jab being in his face, Dillian Whyte has got to exploit that. He can't afford to allow someone like Dubois just run out there and throw punches in. As I said, I think he's a very on-top fighter. I think when the bombs start being thrown with Dubois, he's going to go missing. I've always felt that about Dubois. I felt it with the Joe Joyce fight, and I backed Joe Joyce to beat him. And again, if Dillian Whyte can get his jab going and he can force back Dubois up, with very leaky defense. Dubois, he's not got the greatest defense in the world. So what he makes up for is punching power and brute strength. But Dillian Whyte's a big man. He's a strong man himself. So if he can negate that by doubling up his jab, pushing Dubois back, I don't think Dubois fights well on the back. In fact, I don't think Dubois can fight on the back foot. If you can push him onto the back foot and start throwing punches at him and hurt Dubois, he'll make Dubois fight differently. And that's a fight for Dillian Whyte to win. But if Dillian Whyte allows Dubois to get on the front foot and chucking punches at him, he can kiss good night and he can get knocked out within 6 or even before 6. Because I just don't think Dillian Whyte's endurance is there. The last thing a boxer loses is his punch. So if Dillian Whyte can slip and throw a left hook inside, he could still become WBA heavyweight champion of the world. A fight and a route I said he should have taken all those years ago. When I said to him, go and fight for the, I was saying, go and fight for the WBA title. Forget the WBC route. You're going to get screwed. He went and got screwed. Should have fought for WBA. Now he's going to fight for the WBA title. Can you believe it, boxing fans? And I said this. When did I say this? I think when they announced the second Chisora fight, I said, Dillian Whyte needs to keep away from WBC and he's got an WBA route. Fight for the WBA title, win the WBA title, and then make a defense against Chisora or something like that. I said it, but there we go. People are in the house. A lot of people talking. Wow, let's go. Good evening, people in the room. Wow, wow, wow. Hi, boxing popcorn or popcorn boxing. Hi, SL. Shook, good to see you in the room. Thank you. You're a legend. Great content. Thank you very much. Susanna, wow, where have you been? How are you, my dear? Ladies and gentlemen, this is Susanna. I've known Susanna for a very long time. In fact, I met Susanna when she was 17 years old. I don't know how old I was then. And I ended up becoming head coach of Enfield Council. And Susanna was a coach there at the time, a fantastic coach, a young woman who loves the sport, good footballer, and such an excellent coach. Much love to you, Susanna. Keep repping the ends. Whyte has something left in the tank, but I think he's been frozen out for a title shot for all this time. Took his best years from him and kept him in the wilderness. I did say that. I did mention that. So people are reading my mind and I've got the same thoughts. Yes, Ingram. Yes, Liam. Hope you're well. I hope you did. I hope you caught the James El-Bashir interview and you check that out. And of course, I'm uploading classic. I've put classic interviews on our subscriber page now for those who haven't subscribed. So at the moment is Alexander Usyk, the interview I did with Alexander Usyk when I first met him all those years ago. So that's a classic for you to watch. I think Dubois has a come forward sign, doesn't like going back and being clinched and reset in a way like Tyson after he came out from prison, looking to annihilate to plan B. That's exactly what I've said. I wasn't even looking at what you were saying, but wow, amazing. It has looked like Dubois' front foot improved since joining McGuigan. I don't know about all that, but we'll see. I think Dubois' right hand could lay out Whyte. Yeah, it could. It could. If Whyte's silly enough to stand there and just look at him. You think Buatsi will pull out of Johnson fight? Yeah, he wants to. I thought he was going to fight Pascal. He wants to because Johnson will knock him out. Johnson will knock. Well, it depends on what sort of shape you want Johnson comes in. But if I put Johnson in the ring and he's in shape and he's in fighting shape, he knocks Buatsi out cold. It's the end of Buatsi's career there and there. I'm telling you now, Buatsi's too open. And I don't think Virgil Hunter's made any difference to him. Whyte hasn't got the best defense either, to be fair. Yeah, but the difference between Whyte is when you say he hasn't got a great defense, you say that, but I will counter you and say, go back and look at the fight against Anthony Joshua. Go back and look at the fight against Joseph Parker. He's got a catch and shoot. His defense is different. His defense is his attack. So his offense is his defense. So when you come to attack him, he'll catch your shot and throw his on at the same time. So be careful with Dillian Whyte. He's an old fox there. His defense is not great to the uppercut, but I don't think it's that bad. Whyte's chin is gone. Yeah, well, I think so. Maybe so in that one. When is the real chap Dave Allen going to fight? What do you think about him the other day, Dave Allen? I did think about him the other day. So many things I could talk about Dave Allen in terms of I think he could have become British champion and all the rest of it. But Actually was sitting in my bed thinking about Dave Allen the other night, actually. Random. I was thinking about him because I was going back to all the old interviews I did, and I remember how I used to do lots of interviews with Dave Allen. I know why, because I was talking to James Allen-Bashir and Eddie Chambers making a comeback, and I was thinking, And then Dave Allen, I remember me and Dave used to do lots of shows together, and I was thinking, wow, Dave Allen could at least have been British champion. Eddie has already said they have different plans for Buatsi. That's fair, to be honest. Buatsi is truly world-class, best light heavyweight without belt. You're kidding me, bro. You're having a joke, aren't you? You just about got past Craig Richards. No, bro. I don't know where you're going with that. I don't know where you're going to best light heavyweight in the world without a belt. No chance, bro. Disagree with you totally. If the fight happens, I can't see Whyte beating Dubois. He gets knocked out. Well, yeah, that would be the general consensus because Whyte's been knocked out by Tyson Fury. But the guys he's been knocked out with are world-class fighters. Povetkin, Whyte, and Povetkin, Joshua, and Fury. They're three world-class fighters. And all three guys have got great amateur pedigrees. Those three guys you're talking about there. Dubois has got no great amateur pedigree behind him. He's learning on the job. It would be obvious that Dubois would knock. I would imagine him bludgeoning Dillian Whyte. But if he makes a mistake, the catch and shoot is there from Dillian Whyte. It's not like Dillian Whyte hasn't fought big guys before. Dillian Whyte comes into this fight with experience. He's a puncher, and the last thing a fighter leaves in boxing is his punching power. And it's not going to be a guy where Dubois is going to be there to hit. It's not like Dubois is like Joseph Parker, who's faster on his feet. It's not like Tyson Fury, who's got long arms. It's not like Anthony Joshua's got the amateur experience and, gold medal winning champion and all that stuff momentum. This is Daniel Dubois who's come off a defeat to Joe Joyce. I said that Joe Joyce would beat him. And that was just by the jab. I said he beat him. So there needs to be some realism here as to how good Daniel Dubois actually is based on what the expectation of how Daniel Dubois is. The Daniel Dubois we know has been beaten by Joe Joyce. Okay? Let's put that to one side. But other than that, who was Daniel Dubois beaten for people to say, you know what? Yeah, this guy should be fair in the heavyweight division. It's all hype. It's all hype and BS. Frankly speaking, it is. Do me a favour. Do me a favour. Who's actually Daniel Dubois beat? Honestly, who's he beat? Nathan Gorman. Is that a guy that's used to fight super middleweight, upper heavyweight? Is that what you're putting on against a guy Dillian Whyte who's beating some top contenders, beating Robert Helenius, beating Joseph Parker? Helenius is about to go and fight Deontay Wilder, and I don't think that's a walk in the park for Deontay Wilder. So I don't think so. As crazy as it sounds, and as famous as Whyte is, still a dangerous fight for Dubois. If Whyte clinches, moves Dubois around, resets him, and counters all of that, roughs him up on the inside, I don't even think Dubois can fight on the inside. I really don't. I don't. Fight Callum Johnson would be a step down, in my opinion. Oh, really? Yeah, the guy that knocked down Beterbiev, yeah, that's a step down. I don't see that somehow. The guy that knocked down Beterbiev starched the British champion in a round. I don't think that's a step down, bro. Who was Buatsi fought and beat? Bro, I think you're high on that DAZN stuff with Matchroom. Too high on it. Not to mention Callum was pulled out of his last 3 fights or something. Yeah, well, maybe so. If that right hand hits him, believe me, it's not going to be Craig Richardson. He hits him, he'll put him to sleep. I'm telling you now, he puts him to sleep. So let him go out there with that lazy defense. One shot from Johnson, good night. You've been warned. You've been warned. Because I don't think Buatsi has got the best chin in the world. I've told you. If Johnson lands that right hand or that left hook, he stretches Buatsi. I'm telling you now. Stay there with Buatsi and Buatsi this and that with that leaky defense. Stay there. You guys don't listen. You guys don't listen. If Buatsi cracks him with that, if Johnson hits him with that right. Now Johnson hasn't got the greatest defense himself and hasn't got the greatest chin. But if he's in shape and he gets close, and he lands that right hand, start saying your prayers for Buatsi. I've told you all now. That's not a fight I would be going for Buatsi now. It's not a step down. No chance. Whyte will out tough Dubois, in my opinion. Well, I think if Whyte can get close, there's some trouble there for Dubois. Not Mr. Fanboy. Bible Waxy is very talented. Talented what? Talented what? Guy Life and Death with Craig Richardson. We talk about fam. Don't come with that rubbish on my channel. I'll block you straight away, bro. Don't get comfortable with me. I'll block your ass. Straight up. Don't call me no fanboy. Don't disrespect me on my channel. Do not disrespect me on my channel. I'll just block you straight. Don't think because I'm friendly with you, you step over the line, you get blocked. Straight up. What has Waxy done that's so brilliant about him? That is so world class. What has he done? He almost gets himself in real trouble against Craig Richards. He cannot block a right hand to save his life. What are you talking about? And he's going against a guy who's a natural big puncher. Bro, come out of here with that fanboy nonsense talk, man. There's no pushing over pay-per-views all over now. Canelo, KSI, they have to. They have to. They've got to compete with Sky Sports. And Sky Sports is what everybody sees. People don't want to watch Dead Zone. People want to see Sky because they see Sky and they recognize Sky as a place at home for boxing. And Sky's stepping up their game. They step up their game. They've got Usyk. They've got Marshall and what's their name? Marshall and Shields. They've delivered already. And the other fight was it? And Taylor and what's the girl's name? Didn't they fight in Sky? Maybe I'm wrong there. But anyway, I think at the end of the day, for me, Sky is the place for boxing, not DAZN. Not being disrespectful is what it is. Oh, I said I'm not a fanboy. My apologies, Liam. Waxy hasn't done anything in 6 years. Thank you very much. Thank you. Somebody sees it now. Somebody sees it. Waxy hasn't done anything. For a guy who they're pushing, and he's this and that, and he's that and this and this and that. Look at Conor Benn. Conor Benn hasn't even had the exposure and fought at the lights where Waxy was fought in the Olympics. Come on. Come on. Waxy is hype. He ain't substance. If anybody can be sure that Waxy would beat Anthony Yarde today, I don't think so. Not with the sort of shots Waxy's eating. Now, I knew at some point in that fight that Craig Richards would land and he would hurt Waxy. And at one point, I thought he was going to stop Waxy in that fight. Now, imagine that's Callum Johnson. Oh, my Lord. My Lord. My Lord. His career highlight has been teaming with Virgin Hunter. That's it. What else has he done? Well, tell me one thing. If you're going to say Waxy is a world-class light heavyweight, tell me one thing he's done. One world-class light heavyweight he's fought. You can say, yeah, you know what? I saw that fight, Waxy, but yeah, he's ready for a world title shot. I want to know what fight that is. The Craig Richards fight? Tell me what fight it is. He's been workmanlike. That's it. Workmanlike. Benny's all hype. Let me see something. Ben's taking more chances and more risk in his career than Waxy's done in all his damn career working under Matchroom. That's a fact. Fact. And the only reason why I believe Ben is taking that fight is because Eubank is coming down under 160 and he's getting weight drained. So when he starts landing them body shots, Eubank's punch resistance won't be the same. That's the only reason why Ben's taking that fight. If Ben's a real bad man, take the fight at 160. If you're a real bad man, take the fight at 160. You talk about pride and your dad and all stuff. I said, if you're a real bad man, fight me at 160. If you're really about that life, fight me at 160. No catch weight, fight me at 160. Do you know it's all bullshit? It's because they are looking to bring Eubank down. Eubank does not fight well at light middle, so they try to bring him down in weight, right? So then his durability is not the same. He doesn't rehydrate the same way. Understand the game, so he's not as durable. That means he doesn't take a punch the same way. And he's not the same guy that fights at 160, 168 pounds. Not the guy that fought George Groves. Not the guy that fought Billy Joe Saunders. Forget that guy. This guy's going to be a skeleton of the guy that fought those guys because he's going to be weight drained. He's going to be 156 pounds. When have you seen Chris Eubank Jr. fight 156 pounds? Come on, people. So they're hoping Eubank comes down to this weight, keep him at the weight, and then when Ben goes for him, Ben's going to be strong at the weight in the hope that he's strong. He can take the punches Eubank throws because he's not going to be strong. Take him into the second half of the fight. If he's still there, 5-6 rounds, after a murderous body attack, after 5 or 6 rounds, Eubank's dead at the weight, they stop him. That's how it goes. And it looks like Ben's some phenomenal puncher. When really, they've just weight drained the guy. Come on, don't fall for it. It's the okie doke. They're hoping that Eubank is drained. And it would be funny if he's not drained and he stops Conor inside a few rounds. That would be funny. That would be funny. It's trying to be clever. You see? What they've got to hope is that Ben's chin holds up to Eubank's punching power. Because we've seen Ben get hit on the chin by a nobody and get dropped and almost get knocked out. Was it Paynoid or what it was? And he's never been with a puncher since. So now he's going to fight a guy who can punch fairly hard, Eubank Jr., at his given weight, but at 156. And if you look at Eubank's body, we had that conversation. We did a special with James Alabisha, Bermain Stavern, Tony Sisse, and Andy Gill. We had a special on that show, and we broke it down. Eubank has got no fat on his body. Even at 160, you look at him weigh in, he's got no fat on his body. And I know Eubank personally, he's got no fat on that body. So where he's going to get to lose that extra 4 pounds, God only knows. But anyway, let that be. Conor Ben ain't done nothing, has he? But the ego matches his dad, who was a legend. He's going to do something by fighting Eubank Jr. A match stable. Match stable, I've said it for years. They could have an excellent stable, but they mismanaged, mishandled, and mismatched their fighters. And they fight. If the matchmaker was my matchmaker, I would have sued him for many millions because he's lost me a lot of money and a pay-per-view stable. DAZN. DAZN selling Eubank Ben as born enemies. Well, you can tell they're desperate, aren't they? Always grew up, my dad telling me Nigel Ben was the people's champion. But I think it's reserved now. Eubank Jr. is far more likable and honest and less of a puppet. Well, yeah, I guess so. Eubank might just revert to the old pressure style and take him out in 3 rounds. That's his best belt. If he doesn't take him out in 3 rounds, he's in trouble. It's 157 now. Oh, it's gone up by £1. Brilliant. Eubank, I think, is a small guy. So him weighing outside the camp at like 165 pounds. Yeah, bro, but that's beside the point in being a small guy. What you've got to understand is that the things that give him a great chin and durability and all that stuff, and their engine is when he's fighting at his optimal weight. This is not his optimal weight, and he's 32 years old. When you drag a man down when he's that age and you bring a man down, that is dangerous. The boxing world know it. Those in the world know it. The trainers know about it. But there's a bit of money coming in, so people will keep their mouth shut. But it's a dangerous fight. I think this fight favours Ben for all the reasons you've mentioned, and that's the fact that Eubank was mismatched for a long time and never moved along as well as Ben. Yeah, I think so. Maybe it's Ben's excuse to stay at 154 so he can swerve Ortiz's boots, etc. He's got to do a lot of swerving. I think Ben's trainer said if Eubank comes in over 158, he fights off. There you go. So you know where it's at. It's got nothing to do with enemies. It's Eubank Ben trying to take the Eubank name. That's what it is. It's Ben trying to take the Eubank name. Because if he beats Eubank, I'll smashing it in the gym and I smashed up Eubanks. That's what it sounds like. But you didn't beat the real bona fide, genuine 160-pound Eubank. If I were in the media, I would say, listen, if you really were about that life, why didn't you fight at 160? Why didn't you fight at 160? When Khan moved up to fight Canelo, that was his proper weight. There was no catch weight shit there. When Brook moved up to fight Canelo, that was a proper weight. What the hell is this catch weight for? It's nonsense. People should be sticking it on both of them. Notice that Ben has not been calling out Shadow Warriors like Ennis, Ortiz, or any other monsters, even the Road Warrior Lara. They know they're hiding glass. Conor's chin is questionable. To be fair to him, I bet Eubank is on weight now. He probably is on weight now. Even if he's on weight, it doesn't mean he's at optimum. Look, okay, let me give you an example. All right, it's like a car. It's like a Porsche, yeah. And the Porsche runs on, example, it runs on petrol, yeah. It runs on petrol. You don't know. It runs on petrol, but I decide to fill it up with diesel. Porsche looks great. and I've got my flipping three-wheeler car, three-wheeler, yeah. And you start your Porsche, and I start my three-wheeler, and you look at me, go, I got my Porsche, ha 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 ha. You start your car, diesel, screwing up your car. Normally, you put the petrol in your car, you fly, you beat me. But it's diesel in your car. You try to start the car, you're in shit, and it's a race. And you've bet your house, you'll beat me. And I'm my little three-wheeler going, down the road, and I beat you. And you're still stuck in your car because you've got diesel. Do you understand what I'm saying? Unless your car's diesel. Yeah, so that's what you've got hit with this Ben fight and Eubank. Anything over a limit, Eubank gets fined. And 1.585 is the limit. Yeah, there you go. See? Carl was at catch weight at 155. Yeah, well, you saw what happened to him, didn't you? Ingram Jones in the press would be amazing. Imagine stand up to be a scrum. Question for you. That's when it gets real. Yeah, when it gets very real very quickly. Why is Whyte avoid Joe Joyce scared? Well, why would you fight Joe Joyce? Has he got a world title? Canelo was near 190 pounds versus Khan. He weighed in that much. They refused the fight day weigh for Canelo public. Well, there you go. So it's this. Will Eubank weigh in heavy on the day and get fined? You see, I would go down the route of, you know what? Get fined for 158.5. Be on 158.5 and get fined for that. Get as close to 158 as possible. Get as close to it as possible. And get fined, whatever. Get fined. And then beat the brakes off of Ben for it. That's what I think. Anyway, so back to Dubois and Whyte. I believe that fight will happen. I think it's going to happen. I wonder who's doing the drug testing. Good question. Good question. I think you should be asking that question about who's doing the drug testing for Joshua versus Usyk, because they both look pretty big. So I'd be asking questions there. But anyway, let me get out of here. I hope you've enjoyed the show as always. My apologies again to Liam. Yeah. Much love to you, brother. Please accept my apology. It's been a late one. Right. Thank you so much as always. Don't forget to rate, subscribe. If your comments as always, share the videos. And yeah, we'll wait to hear Dubois and Whyte being finalised, because according to Dillian Whyte, he wants maximum violence. He's fed up doing civilian life, so he wants to get back and fight again. Dubois' Achilles heel is always a guy to clinch him and push him back and reset him. Well, there you go. I think Dubois' Achilles heel is anyone punches him back and pushes him back. So they're along the right lines. Thank you all for watching. This is BWTN Sports. We're out of here and have a very good night, and we'll see you soon. Take care.